Sometimes that happens. I don't know why they do that. There you go. I needed to change the angle on the gimbal. Because, here's the deal. The thing is, I put my phone on a like a tripod gimbal, and sometimes it's very difficult to get the phone perfectly aligned. It doesn't always happen, but sometimes it does. Tell me in the comments, guys, if this broadcast is clear. I'm not even seeing your comments. I don't know why Facebook does that. Facebook, is it a glitch? I can see your comments now, but I don't see the number of people watching this broadcast. Not that that's important, even though we are keeping track. That's stuff they never tell you. But low-key, we're watching the numbers. We are. And that's just being honest. And there's nothing wrong with no harm, no foul. Nothing wrong with being honest about what we're doing. Okay, guys, let's jump on here real quick. I'm over here at my office at Simoson Building, plot number 8585 on Simon Mwewa Lane, here in the CBD. I'm trying as best as I can to look as presentable as I can for you. Okay, I must tell you though, this is a brand new reflector. I just got it the other day. It's a size bigger than the one I had before, and that's saying something. Okay, guys, hop on here real quick. Just sort of share this broadcast with people that you think would be interested in this conversation. And before I get into my dissertation, I just wanted to make, I'm sitting here watching and waiting. Literally, I was counting down to the wire, because today I felt like it was important for me to show up on time for you. And I keep telling you guys, you don't know what it's like being me out here for you. It is an up and down, pride swallowing siege that I will never fully tell you about. Okay, so I was on time. I got up early to do this for you. Okay, so thank you for being with me. I must tell you, I was scrolling through the broadcast, through my news feed, and I came across a story. It's a crime story. And how many people know that crime stories are intriguingly interesting? Well, this one is. Have you read this? I saw this on Mwebantu. It's a 28-year-old man of Chilenje has allegedly stabbed his girlfriend to death following a quarrel over mobile money transaction he is said to have made to his wife. Picture this, if you will. A guy is married, okay? He sends money to his wife, okay? Money that belongs where it's going. Okay, how many people know that when a husband sends his wife money, that's the way it should be. That's the way it ought to be. That's the way it's designed. That is the relationship algorithm. But here it is, you've got a girlfriend and this jamoke of a guy, they get into an argument because of money that he sent to his wife. Now, if it were the other way around, the complaint would be genuine. If the wife was complaining to the husband about sending mobile money to his girlfriend, that's a whole different deal. But when you've got a girlfriend that has qualms, that has difficulties, that is upset because her man has sent money to his wife, and then it ultimately results in a quarrel, Wambo Menyana, which ultimately results in the guy stabbing his girlfriend. Now, here's the story. This is the part that just cracks me up. The guy, after stabbing his girlfriend, she dies, she's out there sprawled out on the floor in the house. Homeboy doesn't know what the hell to do. He's nervous. So the body sits there for at least a day. Finally, he decides, this is Huchirenje. Okay? Just here in Lusaka, the chap decides, where the hell am I going to take this body? I can't take it anywhere. Well, the only thing I can do is call the police, to tell them that, look, I've got a body, a lifeless body in my house on the living room floor, and I've never done this before. I don't go around killing people. She's dead, and I don't know what to do. The police get there, and then he starts fumbling around. And the police ascertained that the body had been there for at least a day. What's the moral of the story? If you are a man that's married and you want to send money to your wife and your girlfriend has a problem with that, news alert, she's going to mess up your life. She's a spanner in the works. She's Boatea. She's the devil in Prada. And you better get rid of her before you lose your life and your freedom. And in this case, the guy has lost everything. Can you imagine the horror, the hell, the can you imagine the mother of the wife hearing the news that why? Because batumine kumwana wandi eyo girlfriend afulwa and then mambo kulwa mulia mukulwa abula knife, he stabs the chick dies. Some of the things that people get themselves in, it's ridiculous. Self-induced problems. Self-induced. Okay? Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. You said no caterism. Yes. Guys, let's there's something on my heart I just want to share with you. Being in the CBD, especially here at Simoson Building, Simon Moore Lane, being a member of this community is very, very difficult. I alluded to this not too long ago. There's some of you, the only time you grace this area is when you come to City Market, or maybe you come to Simon Moore Lane, you buy a few items, you go to Young Firo's Simoson, you buy a couple of items, and then you leave. Your experience of this area is different from my experience. The reason, I spend 9 to 10 hours of my working life every single day in this community. 9 to 10 hours every day in this community. And how many people know that when you are part of a community, it's very important to try at least to have a habitable community. It's not easy in this area. It's very difficult. And what I mean by that is that this is the reason sometimes we get involved with trying to sensitize our community members to throw things in the bin, to try and keep their areas clean and their surroundings clean. It's a tall order. It is an everyday. Oh, I'm like yaya. Yaya, I'm like mwewa. Chashima. Oh, wait. This is so embarrassing. Oh, yeah, well, I'm at. Yashima, Yaka. Nani wa chishimia? Wanyabo. Oh, kuna Simoson. Kuna fia pena. Bonse fi va fia nempanga. They just go with the bush. What was I saying? Tell me in the comments. Pantundalava. Tulalava. When I lose my train of thought, I literally just go off the rails, mate. And then you have to remind me. Please remind me. What was I talking about? What was I saying? Oh, I was talking about the community. So it's important for me, and I'll be frank with you. Let me just be totally honest with you. Full disclosure. And I don't say this from a prideful point of view. I say it from a very real point of view. This is what happens here. And there's nothing noble about what I'm about to tell you. Nothing at all. And it shouldn't be this way, but it is this way. Here in the CBD, here on this side of Simoson, I am the only person that talks about cleanliness. I'm the only person that talks about the road being clear. I'm the only person that rails against vendors that place their goods on the middle of the road. Not Mumbadi, not on the sidewalk, not on the pavement. They place their goods on the middle of the road. And I'm the only one that says, look, you can't do that because that disrupts the flow of traffic. Do you know what I get in response when I say that? Ni road yako. Is this your road? Just because it's named after your father, does it belong to you? They say that to me every single day. And I have to constantly say, guys, leave the old man's name out of this. I'm just saying to you, this is a road and it needs to function. Do you know what they say back to me? Oh, you because you are more citizen than us. Because you drive a car, you are more privileged than us. If we don't drive, so the things we've put in the road, we are less of a citizen. I said it's got nothing to do with whether or not you drive. It has everything to do with you clearing the road. So my point in bringing all this up is that you remember I was one of the advocates. Okay, I wasn't the main piece of the puzzle, but I was one of the advocates. The main guy that drove this agenda in clearing Simon Mwewa Lane of street vendors is a councillor by the name of Aaron Mwanza. And guys, let me tell you, as a member of a community, whichever community it is, you cannot do anything without the councillor. People downplay the relevance of councillors. People think that a councillor is just a chap. Those are the key holders to a city, those chaps. And the councillors are the best kept secrets in this country. Because people think they're insignificant. They're not. They are the key holders of any community in this country, councillors. That is why the job of the councillor, a ward councillor, is to take care of the affairs of his or her ward. Anything that happens in that ward, in terms of development, in terms of anything to do with the way the functionality of the ward works, it's the councillor who's supposed to be the engine that drives that narrative. But unfortunately, 99% of councillors in this country are only elected to line their pockets. They don't care about the wards. The vast majority of councillors are not even concerned, or one, about their wards, about the functionality of their ward, nothing. They are only concerned about lining their pockets. So when you have public officials who are elected officials for a community, but they don't care about the community will collapse. Then citizens, private citizens like myself, when private citizens voice their complaint and say, no, can you talk to these people and convey to them that this idea of blocking the road is retrogressive. We, private citizens, we become enemies of street vendors. We become enemies of other parts of members of the community in this area. When in fact, it is the job of the councillor to do that. It's not my job. My job is to be a good member of this community. Practice good neighborliness. Practice hygiene and cleanliness. If all of us did that, imagine for a moment if there were 10 buildings on a road and each building said, the front of the building, each one will sweep, will make sure it's clean. The whole road will be clean. Because Simoson is the only black-owned business here on this side of the CBD. I mean, I want you to understand that. Everyone else here is Indian, Chinese, Lebanese. You think a Lebanese is going to stand on the street and say, Imwe, Piangani? He won't. The vendors will insult him. Tauri mina Zambia iwe. You think a Chinese can come out of his building? And there are many Chinese who have buildings here. Simoson, I'm the only black Zambian here. You think a Chinese can come out and tell street vendors, oh, hello, you don't throw dirt on the road. Don't tantika on the road. We want to pass. They will insult him. You think a Lebanese can go outside there and tell street vendors, no, you can't. I'm the only one that does it. I'm right here on a foot. I'm the only person that does it. And because I'm the only one that does it, I'm an enemy. That is why they stoned me. Remember the story of stoning? Even though what is sad in this country is that most people cheered when I was stoned. Yeah. But do you know why I was stoned? Because some of you don't even know. Some of you just heard that, oh, mwewa was stoned. Oh, how is going to be bomba? Eh? Bomba. But if you ask the same people who were celebrating, ask them, do you know why mwewa was stoned? They won't know. They won't tell you. They have no idea. The reason I was stoned was because I alerted town clerk's office. I alerted town clerk's office that some marketeers were trading in an undesignated area that was reserved for two things: a drainage system. When it rains, when it floods, the water is supposed to pass through that drainage system. If you block it, it floods the area, number one. Number two, those steps are designed for pedestrians to walk through so that the market, this is Simon Mwewa Lane Market, is not as congested. My alerting town clerk's office, town clerk sent council police after I alerted them, sent council police to ask the people to move from the drainage and the steps so that the drainage is clear and open, so that the steps can be clear for pedestrians to walk through, so that because you see, if the steps are not clear, it means the inside, the core, the inside of the market is packed full of people, and people now are moving shoulder to shoulder. Shoulder to shoulder. And in that shoulder to shoulder activity, that is where you find pickpockets take advantage of that. So what I was doing was alerting the town clerk's office, Kuti, TC, town clerk, please send council officers to come and ask our people to move into the market to trade where they are supposed to trade in the market, so that the drainage system is not blocked, so that the passage is open and free for pedestrians to walk through. That was my crime. They stoned me because of that. To the average marketeer, I'm an enemy. Why did you call council? But you're blocking the drainage system. But the drainage system is flooded now because of your blocking. But you've inhibited people from walking through. Therefore, you've made the market more crowded because this space you've used is supposed to be a walk-through, a walkway for pedestrians. No, you can't say that. Where are the stones? 80% of the people on social media, they cheered when they heard I was stoned. They cheered. It tells you where we are as a people. What is wrong is what is right. What is right is what is wrong. And it's a sad, sad existence. Very sad existence indeed. As things stand now, when through the help of Lusaka City Council, through the help of Councillor Aaron Mwanza, through my insistence as well, when the street vendors were first removed from Simon Mwewa Lane and they were moved into the market, because that was the objective. All along, that was the objective. For many, many years, the street vendors would always say to me, but why ufuna tichoke mu road? My answer was always the same. When you go into the market, you have access to shelter. When it rains, you've got shelter. When you go into the market, you have access to running water, clean water, you have access to toilets. When you go into the market, you pay your rent or your stipend to the council, and the council can use that revenue to fix roads and lights and maintenance. When you go into the market, you become an economic participant. I mean, the answer is there. It has never changed. But our people are so dwanzy. Why utipisha mu road? Ndiye mwa tidia savana. Mu road. Inge miyota kashara pitashana. Moto wa ibe nchito. Ingapiti hapa moto waka. Izapita mumadi umo. Yeah, but you're obstructing traffic. Pita iwe mwewa, ni mumbali umonga pite iwe na iwe maro likwe iwapo. There's enough space for you to pass mwewa. Just dodge us. Just, pita fye wala pita. That is the line of logic of our people. And it's very sad. I look at them every day and I wonder, my God. I want to be so sad. Now, Simon Mwewa Lane Market. I've given you the story of how the market was named. The marketeers, most marketeers, more than 90% of them, they hate that it's named Simon Mwewa Lane Market. They say it every day. Because in their minds, they think, because it's named after my father, they think that my insistence for the market to function is a stumbling block to them. In their minds, they think, no, ichi market tuwafumie shina, uyumwe watakula chusha. He won't be coming here saying Piangani. He won't be coming here saying, no, passage road, ifunika kankala kiria. He won't be coming here saying, no, mwirapo sefiso sopa. He will leave us alone. But as long as the market has his father's name, chizati vuta, chizambo bwela kuti vuta pano ati yo dobaichi, pianga hapo, siunga tai hapo. That is how they think. Already now, I can tell you, even the market masters in Simon Mwewa Lane Market, they don't like me. Tabamfaya no kumfaya mudia. Ngana ingela from market mudia. They hate it when they see me. Right now, the young boys who put clothes along the fence of the market, we are opposed to that because when people hang clothes on the fence, it means their customers will now stand on the road inspecting the clothes. What will that mean? It means the two-lane road now will cease to function as a two-lane. It will now become one lane. Because one lane now is being used for street vending. Anyone who comes to the CBD knows that the main reason traffic does not move here is because of vending on the street. It would not be so bad, even though it is bad. In my view, all vendors belong in the market. And in the beginning, I used to think that this complaint that street vendors have, I used to think it was true. I used to think they were telling the truth. But after spending many years with street vending, after observing them, after being around them and eating with them and talking with them and being part of their community, I realized, wait a minute, these people are con artists. They use their so-called poverty to hoodwink and take advantage of politicians by saying things like, there's no room in the market. Malo mu market mulibe. When I've discovered all markets within the CBD are enough, are adequate to absorb all the street vendors in the CBD. Every single one of them. The problem is they don't want to trade in the market alone. Many of them already have stands in all the markets, but they also want that double tobela to trade on the street. They take advantage of the fact that Lusaka City Council is inadequate, woefully inadequate to handle street vendors. That cat and mouse issue in the CBD, that is pure nonsense. Filiabachisawa Council, ama vendors. You've got one truck that has 10 council police and you're driving through the CBD and you're chasing vendors. That doesn't work. You need a sustained operation, a fully fledged operation, where you put even 2,000 people on the ground in the city to ensure that people are following the rules. Lusaka City Council has a lot of council police. What job do the council police do? How many council police do we have? There are council police graduating every year. How many council police do we have? But the only council police you see are 10, 15 council police in the CBD on a truck chasing 20 vendors. Anyway, let me tell you, CBD, this is Central Business District. It's located on your thumb. It is so small. 2,000 council workers can handle the CBD very easily. Very simply. There are so many things that you can do to launch a sustainable, not this platitude of keep Zambia clean, keep Zambia. That's nothing. That doesn't do anything. You have to have action. Action on the ground. Consistency. Put pain to crime. If someone throws something on the ground, find them. Tell them, no, that's not right. Council police have to assert their positions as the local authority. But our council police have no teeth. No teeth whatsoever. No for a firm uniform. And our people, the way our people are designed, if council police come today and say, no, our pasims are tantika, council police can stand there for 6 months. The moment they go, the people are back. So what is the answer? It should be a lifestyle. I mean, that's the purpose of the council police. Do we contract council police for 6 months? No. There are people who work at council. That's their job. So, therefore, it should be a sustainable way of life. But if you are lazy, we've got a mayor Chitangala, who doesn't even want to talk about the cleanliness of this city. She doesn't. She sits in her chambers. She's I don't even want to tell you. I mean, the complaints that we have as a community. How many times has the mayor been to the CBD? You tell me. I can count it on 2 fingers. How many times our Lusaka mayor has been to the CBD? I can count it on 2 fingers. Councillors who are supposed to be aiding the mayor, helping the mayor, making sure that this city is functioning. Councillors are just lining their pockets, doing deals that benefit them. The drainage system along Lumumba Road completely blocked. There's a 40 million kwacha worth of CDF. What is it doing? Completely nothing. Nothing. Zero. It's going to rain very soon. It's going to flood. The same floods we experienced last year, the same ones we're going to experience. And yet the problem here in the CBD, very simple to fix. Very simple to resolve. Very simple. The drainage system that runs along Lumumba Road is massive. It can properly, adequately deal with the rain pattern in this area. But because the drainage systems are full of ifiko, they are full of our people throwing filth, plastic, drainage systems. We've got a mayor who never talks to these plastic companies. We've got a mayor that never talks to these people that make plastic drinks. Never. There's no social corporate responsibility from these manufacturers of water and these plastic containers, nothing. And yet those plastic containers are the number one clogging item in the CBD. Those blue plastic containers, those plastic bottle containers, number one clogging item in the CBD. Does the mayor talk to those companies? Does the mayor ever go to those companies and say, hey, wait a minute. You're flooding and blocking our CBD. Your customers are throwing their plastics everywhere. The whole town is littered with your plastics. You need to step up to the plate. You need to pull your weight. You need to take part in responding and taking responsibility for the role that you play in making this city filthy. You. But does the mayor do that? No. Do the councillors do that? No. So who's going to do it? If they can't do it, if the Minister of Local Government is not talking to these plastic companies, you think the mayor will talk to them? You think the council will talk to them? So if these people are not talking to them, who's going to talk to them? Who? Who do you think should talk to them? It is our civic leaders. Our elected officials. They're the ones who are supposed to be talking to those chaps. But it's just there. It's just there. Just malingering. At Twalikwata CBD. No. And if you think that our voicing this issue is being anti-poor, then I don't think you understand the issue. You haven't understood the issue. What we want as members of this community is a functional CBD. Lusaka City Council has paved the middle portion of Lumumba Road. And they've put plants there, trees there. But they are not dealing with the junks. They're not dealing with the bus drivers. They're not dealing with... it's all cosmetic. Those pavers you've put in the middle of the island on Lumumba Road, you are just simply creating a platform for street vendors to put balas and to put stands. That's all. On one hand, you're trying to beautify. On the other hand, you're just allowing people to just do what they want. The problem in this city, there is no enforcement. The laws are there, but the enforcement is non-existent. Which is sad. The laws are there, but there is no enforcement. There's a law that prohibits people from spitting on the street. There's a law that prohibits people from arbitrarily, willy-nilly throwing garbage out the window. The law is there. But who's there to enforce it? Zero. Voila, nobody. And yet Lusaka City Council is full of council police. Full. So what job do the council police do? In the CBD Abafief. If CBD. Just like this. So those council police, what are they doing? What is their job? Why are they receiving a salary? For what? I mean, for who? For what? For why? Now, everything I'm saying to you here now, many people that are watching, they don't like this. No, walitupata. You are Manakwati. I hear that attitude every single day. Every day, and it makes me sick. I've gotten to the point Sometimes it cuts. Are we good? Sometimes it cuts. Okay, we're good. I'll be very frank with you. I've gotten to the point where you just want to give up. Just want to say, just let them do what they want. Bantu lero bakula sama bwe mailo kukupofula. Today they throw a rock on your head. Tomorrow they'll just take an iron rod and remove your eyes. Why? Because you want a place a road to be free and open and clear for motorists. They remove your eye because of that. You go to the hospital, the doctor says, so what happened? Oh, I was telling street vendors to move so that the road is clear. Oh, and then they removed your eye? Yes. Oh dear. Anyway. The other thing I want to talk to you about matero. I find it so sad that he's lost his page, because the work that goes into building 1.5 million followers, and this is why, and I need to do it, everybody needs to, we need to verify our pages, we need to go through authentication steps and processes. Facebook helps us with all of that. You can't just rely on the good nature of people. People are jealous. People are angry. People don't like to see other people succeed. You know, of course, yes, I understand that Matero, when he first started out, we didn't understand his brand of comedy, you know, because a couple of times he got arrested. What Matero used to do was that he would film himself like stealing things in a shop. And my understanding is that he would only shoot that portion of the content, but he would always pay for the stuff. But he made it look as if he was stealing. So because of that, we misunderstood him. I misunderstood him. I was thinking, what is this guy doing? Is he promoting theft? But then what he has cleverly done is that he has changed reality into comedy. Instead of life imitating art, it's now art imitating life. And so he has carved himself a very beautiful niche. His brand of comedy within the Zambian context, very unique and beautiful. And look, this guy, I've met him a couple of times, and I must tell you, I have never met a young man as humble and as cordial as Matero. Just a really nice guy, you know. And when you meet him, immediately he's one of these people you gravitate to. Extremely likable. I remember when we were at the Zamtel social media awards when he first won that car, and I was after the event, you know, after all the bells and whistles, and I was walking down towards my car. And I didn't realize that he was running towards me. At first, I didn't know who it was, you know. And literally at top speed, running towards me, and literally jumped on top of me, and just gave me the biggest hug. And he said, "Mr. Mwewa, I want you to come see my car." And I walked over to the car. His lovely, beautiful wife was in there, you know, and we talked, and I congratulated him. But my point is, he's just a wonderful guy. And to see him go through this thing where his page is being sabotaged, and it's a lesson for all of us. All of us have to safeguard these pages. I mean, these pages give us money. They pay us. You know, without you guys, without the audience, literally, we are nothing. You know, and that's the truth, you know. And it takes years to build that sort of following. And I can only hope that he doesn't sort of relent and disappear. he is a very important component in the area of comedy because he brings us so much joy. And matero, if you're watching this, I want you to know, brother, I'm sorry that your page is gone through what it's gone through. I would encourage you to fight for it. You know, get advice, get people, engage people that know about this stuff, and get your page back. I believe it's possible to get it back, you know, and just know that we love you. We do. We love you and your family, and we wish you all the very best. Okay. Lastly, given lubinda, there's just one thing I just want to say about that very quickly. Many of you know that yesterday the news broke out that a bunch of UPND cadres led by Kelvin Mwangala took it upon themselves to fish out Given Lubinda from a lodge in Kabwe because according to them, Given Lubinda did not have a permit. My point is, when did it become the preserve of cadres to check whether or not you've got a permit? That is the sole preserve of the police. That's the job of Home Affairs. That's the job of law enforcement. Cadres have no say in it whatsoever. The only thing I wanted to share this with you, is that when I saw the video clip of Given Lubinda, a senior citizen, a seasoned politician, a connoisseur in all things Zambian politics, whether you like him or not, that's inconsequential. But the very fact that he's a senior Zambian politician tells you that he doesn't deserve to be treated like that. He doesn't deserve to be thrown around like a junkyard dog. He doesn't deserve that. You know, when we get older, the worst possible thing that can happen is for you to fall the wrong way. Ngamwakula, that's the reason why when you get older, you measure your steps. You don't just run anyhow. You walk, you measure your steps. When you're walking down the steps, you look carefully, because one slip, one fall, if you break a hip, if you break a femur, if you break your wrist, your ankle, you will be bedridden for months, because the older we get, the longer it takes for our bones to heal. So it's not necessary for young people to rough up a senior citizen in the way that they roughed up Given Lubinda. I mean, for what? And my admonition to the administration, in particular to Jack Mwimbo, Honorable Jack Mwimbo, who has given us, who has assured the public that the people who were involved in that fracas will be brought to book. And you must do that. That one you must do. Don't even touch the grass. Don't. Make sure that those boys, under the leadership and tutelage of Kelvin Mwangala there in Kabwe, make sure those boys are taken to task. Because if you don't do it, they'll keep doing this nonsense. And the reason why I am gung-ho, you know the word gung-ho? The reason why I am insistent that this be done is because I've experienced that. During the PF, more than 2 times, my office has been ambushed by cadres. I know that feeling. I know. That sound, there's a sound of cadre confusion. Ha, Bwana. If you've never experienced this, you won't know what I'm talking about. But when cadres decide to get you and make an example out of you, that's not what we want. We want law and order. Law and order. All right. Thought I'd share that with you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. God bless.